Well, hello. We're still working away here. Yeah, I know, disappointing that I'm still on the driver's side, right? But the good news is everything is lining up really nice. Um, Obviously, I got the firewall back off. I've only had it on there temporarily because I got to do the other rocker panel. But this rocker panel over here, everything is welded in tight and done. I mounted the door because I wanted to make sure that my fitment was going to be perfect, and it is really good. There's one of the issues that we're kind of working against is this is a new door skin that somebody else put on, and you can see if you look really close, it's like high there. It pinches down low here and it goes up. This door skin, the bottom of it is not perfect. But since we're doing a lot of painting on the back half of the car, I'm just going to go ahead and grind and hammer things back into shape so that way the bottom of the door does match the rocker perfectly. It's really close right now. It's probably good enough, but it's not good enough for me. So we're going to make it right. What I'm happy about is this fitment. I still got to do some massaging on it, but everything is kind of clamped into place right now. And you can see my body line here looks good. Not absolutely perfect, but it's really good. A million times better than what it was before. We got our seam back here, so that's going to be nice and clean and look factory again. The door used to stick out literally almost 3/8 of an inch right here. I was able to get my finger in between the door and the rocker and the quarter panel down here. But then up here, it was smooth and tight, right? So now that fitment is much better. I'm going to have to, like I said, massage on this door a little bit because it does still wowie out. That's my technical term there. But it still does flare out a little bit. If you look close here, I'll try to get it so the camera follows the rocker seam. You can see now the door all of a sudden starts to sink in below or a little bit more even with the rocker. And then it sinks in further right there where it's kind of monkeyed up. So that'll flex out. I'll be able to use a rubber mallet and a hammer and dolly and kind of get that out so it matches the rest of this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'll be massaging this out to match the rocker, and I'll massage this in just a little bit to match the rocker, because our fitment right now this way is really good. Obviously this is all going to be cut down lower. The seam is going to be down below the body line. It's just clamped into place right now. The rocker or the quarter panel is supposed to have this little divot here for the molding. It has the divot right here, but not there. So as I was cutting and grinding, it's just full of Bondo. So I'll grind out the Bondo and get that shape back in there. Hopefully it's in there completely, but we'll find out as soon as I start grinding on it. But other than that, this is all good. This is much better up here. Remember how that was pinching into the door really bad? So as I open up the door, kind of a funny story. I spent literally 1.5 nights trying to get this door open. I guess the striker is a little bit worn or something. I'm a little afraid to put this back on, because when I had it on and I shut the door, it wouldn't open back up. So I had to really work on it to get it to open again, but we got it. But anyway, you can see, without having to use the striker, the door's body lines, all the lines are perfect, and that's what we want. So anyway, this is the inner door jamb. I'll be running a bead I'll weld this together right here on the bead all the way down. This needs a lot of work here. I'll work on that and close up that gap because this outside panel is correct. The inside one is not. But we'll run I'll tack in a bead all the way down, 100% sealed, so that way it's all one piece, and we'll be in good shape there. Then obviously you'll see this here. This seam is going to be down about a ½ inch, you know, my finger's width, right? So I'm cutting off about a ½ inch here. I'll be cutting it right about there, just below the body seam or body line, and that'll match up and weld up really nice. And there again, that'll be welded in 100%. It's not going to be spot welded. You don't want to do spot welds on seams, especially on the outer body. You can get away with it on door jambs and stuff like that if you wanted, but outer portions, no way. You can't do that. You got to weld it up solid, just like I did here. You know, I cut this and welded it up solid. Hit it with the grinder a little bit, smoothed it out. I'll clean it up more, but remember, this was like a ½ inch too wide. It's just the dies, they're off, whatever, no big deal. So we'll weld everything up together. There's spot welds that go into this inner door jamb to this jamb. Before I weld this on, I will be welding this bracket. So I made I kind of pounded a piece of metal into shape to match it up. So I'll get that all cleaned up. I'll weld it up together. That'll and then I'll cut it, right? I'll cut it like about here, wherever, and make it so it will go from the door jamb here down to the corner properly. And that'll be all welded up solid with this panel off first up here, and then when I get this panel on, I'll weld the bottom of this bracket in place going right through here, which you probably can't see, but this is the inside of it, right? So that's when I'll do all my welding on the inside. So that's where we're at. Doesn't look like much progress, but it actually is. It's really good progress. So I was going to wait on the door jambs and do them after the fact, and I was like, you know what? This jig has everything holding it exactly where I need it to be. And the old positions were so far off that I decided to go for it. So it'll be good. So we'll get this done, and then I'll lose this weekend in Arizona. So Sunday night when I get home, I'll jump back on it. And hopefully by the end of next weekend, I'll have that rocker in place and maybe the floorboard and the firewall in place. And I'll just be working on the trunk area. So stay tuned. Alrighty, we'll see y'all later.